Hey, it's Ray, Chubby Ray Comics. I don't collect single issues. I collect collected editions, trade paperbacks, omnibuses. I love them. I love talking about them. And I hope you enjoy watching and hearing me talk about these things. That's why I do these videos. I want you to like this video, and I want you to take my advice in these videos, because I do give good advice, like what omnibuses to buy. Like maybe this omnibus I'm talking about today just came out, Wolverine Sabertooth War, and I finished it. Figured I'd give you guys a review. This is a crazy, crazy book. It's about Saber-Tooth and his batshit craziness. Insane. It starts with him being sentenced. It starts with him being sentenced to prison in Krakoa, or not on Krakoa, but under Krakoa. He is sentenced to their idea of prison, and he gets very, very angry about it. And he's not the only one down there. There are others that are sent down to Krakoan jail, and that's why it's Saber-Tooth is the first part. Then it's Saber-Tooth and the Exiles. The Exiles are people who are in the underworld of Krakoa with Saber-Tooth, and then Saber-Tooth has to get a bunch of different versions of himself. He goes looking for different versions of himself from other dimensions, and he gathers them up and decides to make like a Saber-Tooth army, or as they call them, the Saber-Teeth, which is really weird. This book, I was expecting this to be great, because I'm a huge fan of Benjamin Percy, and I know that Percy wrote the Wolverine stuff. He did not write the Saber-Tooth and the Saber-Tooth and Exile stuff, though. I want to make that clear before. That way no one gets the same shock that I did when I realized it wasn't all written by Percy. Victor Laval wrote the Saber-Tooth and Saber-Tooth and the Exile stuff. And like I said, it's good. I like the Exiles more than I thought I would. I was kind of surprised by that, to be honest. I didn't think I'd like it at all, but it was pretty good. It was a good read, and there were some really fine moments. The book gets really good. It gets really good in the second half, because that's the Wolverine stuff. When Wolverine becomes part of this book, which doesn't happen till like over halfway through, that's when it gets really good, because the torture that happens to Wolverine is crazy. I mean, the stuff he goes through is nuts. There's Creed. He finds his son, and he finds other versions of himself to go to war with him, as he's determined that he needs to go to war with Krakoa itself. And then it all ends up being Wolverine versus the Saber-Teeth. And Wolverine is highly tortured in this through his family. And the stuff that happens to Wolverine in this book is, oh my God, it's I mean, the way Wolverine is tortured. I mean, we have seen Wolverine tortured before. Remember when his adamantium got removed and all that stuff? We have seen it before. But man, what happens to him in this book it's unlike anything we have ever seen Wolverine go through. Oh my God, he's torn all to hell, and he ends up, after all this psychological stuff happens with his family, that Saber-Tooth decides to put on him. They end up in a one versus one battle, and of course you knew that the whole book it was going to end up being Wolverine versus Saber-Tooth in some kind of battle, and it did not disappoint when it finally happens. And Wolverine loses his power. At one point he loses his powers, and then how he regains them is kind of interesting. But it ends up with a 1v1 matchup, Wolverine versus Saber-Tooth, and it has a crazy ending. But it's a crazy book because it's got Saber-Tooth in it. And Saber-Tooth, as I said, batshit crazy, man. He's nuts. He is nuts. But what Wolverine does to finally defeat Saber-Tooth is, I won't give you any spoilers, but it's really good. I got to tell you that I was expecting more from this book. I was expecting a lot more, but it was still very good. It was still very good. It's just there was something missing. I'm not sure what it was that was missing. You know, there was just something missing. It all led, everything led, all the stuff, all the crazy stuff that went on led to Wolverine versus Saber-Tooth in a one-man brawl, or a two-man brawl. And that was pretty satisfactory. But there were parts of this where something felt like it was missing. So because of that, I can't really put my finger on what was missing. I don't know. But something was missing. So because of that, I only gave it 4 stars. I only gave it 4 stars instead of, because I was hoping this was going to be a 5-star read. It was not a 5-star read, but I liked the Exiles more than I thought I would. I enjoyed Saber-Tooth's, I hate Saber-Tooth, but I enjoyed his craziness. And of course I loved Wolverine, and I was really touched emotionally by the trauma that he goes through. And the ending battle was satisfactory. However, something was missing. I don't know what it was, but something was missing, so I only gave it 4 stars. Wolverine Sabertooth War. If you are a fan of Sabertooth, you'll love this. If you're a fan of Wolverine, you'll love this. However, I think you might be like me and find something missing. Wolverine Sabertooth War, I gave it 4 stars. I was expecting 5, didn't get that. But I'm not disappointed I bought it. I'm glad I bought it. It just wasn't as good as I'd hoped for. I love Benjamin Percy, and I was expecting more. But he didn't write the whole thing. Like I said, he only wrote the second half. Wolverine Sabertooth War, available now. I'd actually wait a little bit till the price goes down, because the price will go down on this book. I think it's 100. I think it's 125 if you buy it now. I'd wait a couple months. The price will start to dip, and then go and get this. I'd say this book, get it for around 75. If you see it at 75, get it. And I would check organic price books, cheap graphic novels, in-stock trades. Check those sites, because it'll go cheaper there before it starts going cheaper in other places. All right, Wolverine Sabertooth War, 4 stars. That's my review. Hope you liked it. I'm Chubby Ray. Like the video, comment if you will. I appreciate you guys following me. And we're getting closer. I'm getting closer to 10,000 likes and closer to 10,000 followers. That would make me very, very happy, and I'm doing giveaways. Thank you so much for watching. I'll see you in the next video.